All right, I'm here with Macy Rasmussen, standout wrestler for the Audubon Wheelers, but you don't go to Audubon High School, do you?
Nope.
So you are actually an IKM Manning person, correct?
Yep.
Let's start though with that because this year I was at Corn Cob and I saw these green singlets and I was like, what team is that? Because I recognized Sadie. And I was like, what is this team? So the club you go to. Tell me a little bit about, tell me the name, tell me your coach, tell me a little bit about the club.
So it's Ultimate Practice run by Brad Kirkhoff. And it started a couple years ago, like two maybe. And it just in the Wolves program in the same building and stuff. And then we have practice a lot. And then he does privates, which I do a lot of privates just to get like more work focused on me and just that. And then there's a lot of kids going now, a lot of younger kids and a lot of girls too.
Yeah, you have some really good practice partners in that room too, don't you? That you get to
Yeah.
work with. I was surprised just because it's funny, and I told you this beforehand. Um, IKM Manning has never had wrestling, but they've always been, like for a while, IKM sent people to Denison. I was actually the IKM coach for a little while when they were going to Denison. Um, and now the girls go to Audubon. The boys go to Audubon too, don't they? Is that
Yep.
right? Yeah. So, when do you think Manning's gonna just bite the bullet and have their own wrestling team?
Um, I don't know. For the girls program, it's been talked about in a couple board meetings. But the boys, I think they're like going to Audubon, so the boys might stay and the girls are looking to do something else.
That'd be kind of cool. Be very cool. Um, Great season. Really, really good season. This is what I saw, and it might not be updated from after state, but you had about 40 wins going into the state tournament. Is that correct?
Yep.
Just a few losses. One thing I want to and I want to ask you on those losses, how do you get yourself ready to come back for the next match?
Kind of just focusing on what I can prove during that match and just learning from it and just seeing like keeping my confidence, knowing that not everything's gonna go my way and that's okay.
That's a good attitude. That's a really good attitude to have. Um, you've been around a long time. I I remember you coming up to like practices at BV and you weren't very big. When did you start wrestling?
Oh, probably when I was like seven, maybe.
Wow. And do you have a brother that also wrestles? Is that
A
right?
twin brother, yep.
Twin brother that wrestles also. So wrestling probably started in the womb with you guys probably.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys butt heads and fight a little bit or you get along pretty well?
Yeah.
Who's the better wrestler?
Uh, him, but mostly because he's bigger than me.
So you're a better technician. He just has the size on you.
Yeah.
I've had a few other sister combos on here. Maybe we should. I talked to the Ellsberries, and I just got done talking to Bree Kiger and stuff, and about possibly having these matchups with their siblings. Maybe we should have something because it could be done in the Carroll area, and we could have you versus your brother. What do you think about that?
Uh, that might be rough.
That might be rough. Uh, so when you started wrestling, what was the reason you started?
Um, Mostly because I would have to practice with my brother at home, and I just like would we would just roll around, and my dad was always saying that I was like good at it and that I could beat him. So I just started going to some camps, and I started to like it a lot.
Yeah, and you had a very good youth career. You did you ever do? I didn't look back. Did you ever do AAU state? I'm sure you probably did.
Yep, a lot.
Where you, what where was how'd you do at AAU states?
Um, so through my years in junior high, I had five state titles and then
Oh
two
wow.
second place.
So you did okay.
Yeah.
You won a couple matches here and there. That's good. Um, from when you first started wrestling, what do you think? When was that you decided that, hey, I'm trying this out, I'm doing okay, but that you really started to love the sport?
Um, Honestly, just from like honestly the start, just because we would go in the practice and I was always having fun there and just rolling around and being myself.
And is there something that surprised you about the sport of wrestling as you got, or as you've gone through? Is there something that kind of surprises you? Maybe you didn't think that would be the way it is.
When I was younger, there weren't a lot of girls, and now there's lots of girls, and it's really grown.
Yeah, it definitely has. Let's talk about your team. You guys had a great season, did a really good job this year. Um, what's your team environment like? What's it like on the Audubon team?
It's really fun. You get some girls that are just silly and make it fun and have practices, even though they're tough. You can still laugh through it, and just knowing that your teammates are there for you and cheering you on.
Yeah, a lot of people consider, their wrestling team kind of part of their family. Was there a moment, a dual meet or something that maybe everybody kind of came together and it was just a really kind of solidified that idea of this team as your family?
Yeah, just like some duels, not with at the end of the year, we didn't have that much as much girls as we started with, and just even though some of us might have been struggling, we were still there for each other, still having fun, still cheering each other on, and not getting down in the dumps about it.
Yeah. So your season ended this year at the state tournament again. Last year you finished sixth last year, is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so a great season as a freshman. Your sophomore year you got in the finals. On the first year that they highlighted just the finals matches, what was the nerves like? What was it like to run out onto the mat on finals night?
Well, I was definitely nervous, but it was really exciting getting to walk out with all the flames and stuff. And but being present, like staying confident in myself, knowing what I'm capable of and that I deserve to be there, and just knowing that whatever I do, the people around me are going to be proud of me.
Very good. And that environment at the state tournament, what is the environment like? I've obviously been on the floor, but I've not been an athlete on the floor at that tournament. It's a loud tournament. It's, people are right on kind of on top of you and stuff. What's it like to get a wrestle in that environment?
It's definitely like very exciting. Like you get to just go out there, and everybody, not everybody might be watching you, but knowing that people are cheering and just being able to go out and enjoy that experiment is a lot of fun.
So to be a state qualifier, it's very difficult to be a state place winner two times in a row. Super, super impressive. That comes with a lot of confidence in yourself and in your abilities. What do you think you do? How did you gain that confidence in yourself and your abilities?
I definitely think it grew throughout like all the years I've been wrestling, and just knowing that no matter what I do, I'm always trying my best, and just knowing that every year I can improve.
So wrestlers tend to be creatures of habit, right? I mean, we do the same thing over and over. Is there something that you tell yourself or something that you do before every single match?
I go in the hallway by myself, usually jog few, and then a couple matches before I'll take my sweatshirt off, put my headgear on, and just kind of lock in and just get in my mindset.
Okay. Um, you do a lot of other sports, right?
Yep.
So right now you're in track. What events do you do in track?
Usually a 100, a 200, and a 400. So mostly sprints.
Mostly sprints. Is 400 by far the most evil rate? Have you ever done an 800?
In junior high.
I've heard 800s are absolutely the worst, but 400 for a sprinter, what's your favorite of the three?
Definitely a 200, probably.
200?
Yep.
100 would be enough for me. I don't want to run much anymore at all. But then you play softball in the summertime. What position you play?
Usually catcher, but last year I started to do second base.
Catchers, I don't know why it is, but wrestling and catching goes together. It is. You're kind of in charge of the field, and that's your job. I also was a catcher, and then I also played second base. So that's really cool to. How is the transition for you? Because I remember what it was like for me. I caught forever, and then they stuck me at second base, and I was not used to balls being hit at me. What's it been like to transition from catcher to infield?
It's been difficult, honestly, but just being prepared all the time and just working a lot in practice and taking extra reps before or after practice.
I had to take a lot of extra reps and I've had some really I was really good at sitting on the bench in baseball and spitting sunflower seeds through the fence thing. That was my best skill. What's your favorite thing about softball?
Um, Honestly, just having to go out there definitely during the summer and just being with the team and having fun.
And then in the fall, again, we also had the same sport. You're a cross country runner. What's cross country was not my favorite sport, I'll tell you that. But I did have a lot of fun. What's something fun that you like about cross country?
Honestly, just the community and the team. Like the night before our meet, we'll have a carbo feed, and those are usually just a lot of fun.
So, as a wrestler, what do you think wrestling has taught you in your other sports?
Definitely mindset, just always being confident in yourself and always being able to push through it and knowing that it's probably not the hardest thing you'll ever have to do.
Oh, well, my wrestling coach was actually our cross country coach, and he would tell, always go get the next person in front of you. So that was always kind of the same mindset I had for wrestling. And, but again, I wasn't very good at that sport either. Wrestling is really the only thing I was okay at. But if we wanted to get to know you outside of wrestling, um, what's something that you think you would like to focus on if you didn't have wrestling in your life?
Um, Honestly, just a lot with animals and stuff. I like to do that and just focus on having fun with animals and taking care of them and stuff.
Do you live on a farm? Are
I
you out in
live
the,
on, it's like a farm, but without the animals and stuff.
you don't have like livestock animals. What do you got? What
No,
do you have?
we have a dog and four cats.
No chickens or none of that fun stuff at all.
No, my dad says no.
You need to get like an alpaca or what's the big hairy cow, the Highland cow? You need one of those.
Yes.
Miniature Highland cow would be awesome. I think I you should make a deal with him. If you win state next year, you get a Highland cow.
Okay.
I think that's the way because I like to go visit a Highland cow. I get to go to Shepherd's house and see the alpacas, so I need to go have a place that I could do that. Um, After weigh-ins, what's your favorite thing to have?
This year it was a bagel with Nutella on it.
I can't do Nutella, man. I don't know what's wrong with that stuff. I just can't do it. I can't. How about water intake? I've this is one thing that we really focused on our team was making sure we were hydrated, and then that cut isn't quite as hard, honestly. How much water do you drink daily?
Oh, usually about a whole water bottle, about 40 ounces.
About 40. You should probably double or triple that. You probably should. Um, but then there's always those foods because you were a 115 pounder as a freshman, is that right?
Yep.
And then you wrestled 110 this year. So you obviously managed your weight differently this year, or maybe there was just a spot open on the team. So you probably missed some of those really fun things to eat. What is your guilty pleasure food? I'll tell you, mine is ice cream. I could eat it every day, all day long. But what's the one thing you miss?
Caramel M&Ms.
Caramel M&Ms are that's I like caramel M&Ms too. Some of the new M&Ms I'm not such a big fan of, but
Oh,
those caramel ones are really good. There's
yeah.
some that are like so. Um, the area we're in kind of a small town area, right? But when you guys go out to eat, where's your favorite place in Manning or Manila or maybe even that the general area? Where do you guys like to go out to eat?
I like to go out to eat at like a Mexican restaurant just because I love tacos.
Love tacos. I can't blame you there. Everybody kind of loves tacos, I think. You're going to make the trip down to Florida with us this year. And
Yep.
because you said tacos, uh, at least once, if not 5 times, I'm going to tell you honestly, it's closer to 5 times. There's a taco place that does authentic tacos at just like a 5 minute walk away. So get ready for some of the best tacos you've ever had in your life. They're
Okay.
amazing. Vacations. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you head to?
Probably Greece.
Greece. The more and more I've talked, there's a lot of people that want to go to Europe and see Europe. Why Greece?
Just because like of the buildings and the architecture, and I just think that's really cool and like the views and stuff.
Nice. So I know you're just a sophomore and you got a lot of time left in everything, but have you thought about continuing on in wrestling in college?
A little bit, kind of.
A little bit. Uh, Do you know what you want to do when you go to college? Any idea yet? I'm trying to kind of help you out here, see if there's any college. There's actually quite a few college coaches that listen to these and start recruiting. So, what do you want to be do you have an idea on a major yet? I know it's awful.
Um, I don't really know. I think I want to do something with vet med.
Oh, very good. That kind of limits a few different spots if you're going to wrestle. But when it's all said and done, do you think you would want to be a coach or an official to give back into the sport?
Yeah, I think so.
How about if do you think officiating at all? I think it's cool that I can't officiate. I'm the worst official you'll ever have. So that's why I never argue with the officials. Well, not never, but very rarely. What would you think about officiating?
I definitely think it'd be a struggle, just keeping up with all those. But I think once you got like used to it and better at it, it'd definitely be a lot of fun.
Gotcha. Um, there's a lot of girls, like you said, there's a lot of young girls coming into the practice room with you guys now. Your club is growing. What do you hope that like your journey through wrestling, starting and when you started, it was mostly girls wrestling boys. You did a lot of, I'm sure a ton of youth tournaments where you were wrestling against the boys, and that doesn't happen as much anymore. There's more and more opportunities not to have to do that. What do you hope that the girls coming up take from your story?
Honestly, just being resilient and just being confident in yourself, knowing that you can do anything and that anything is possible.
And now you're at a small school, and if you guys decide to split apart, what would you tell girls in the hallway that say, I don't know, I'm thinking about wrestling, but I'm just not sure.
That it's a lot of fun, you make so many friendships through it, and just through all the hard practices and stuff, all the friendships and all the fun you have, it's really worth it.
Now, I know you're still in school, so I can give you a really short quiz. One question. What has wrestling taught you?
Um, Definitely just having a great mindset, being able to push through stuff. Um, just knowing that even though if something bad goes on, the sun's going to rise again and that it's not going to be the end of the world.
Very good. Now, I got down to 3 questions. One's fairly easy, and then two are probably the hardest questions I'm going to ask you. The first one, when you're old and gray and you're sitting on your porch and you're yelling at kids to get off your lawn, what are you going to remember the most about, let's even say the wrestling season you had this year? What's that one thing that sticks out that you're like, yeah, I think that's the important thing I'll remember.
Um, just how fun it was, just being able to enjoy the moments and learning how to be confident in myself and just having fun.
Okay. On that note, when you started, the term wrestle like a girl might have been, oh, she wrestles like a girl, kind of derogatory, right? What do you think it means now? What does it mean to you to wrestle like a girl?
Just going out there and doing your best, always having fun and just being a beast at it and just being strong and confident and knowing that no matter what, that you are always going to be you no matter what.
Very good. Now, The hardest thing, and you're going to help me out here because I will make a YouTube thumbnail for your video and for your interview, and I need to think of something to put on there. The tagline is a very important thing, and I'm doing better because I'm asking people what they think their tagline would be. What's something that maybe describes your journey in wrestling?
Um, oh, like, oh, I
It's
don't
hard. It's
know.
not an. It's really not an easy question. What's something you struggle with?
Um, Definitely like always being confident in myself and just knowing that anything is possible.
Let's see. Let me think. I've got to kind of go through a few different things here, and I'll find something. What about having a twin? What does that what's that have to do with your wrestling career?
Um, it's definitely made me better. Just always being able to have a partner at home and stuff, and just honestly making me more like
Does it
um
make you tougher?
yeah, and
A little
competitive.
competitive? I'm gonna see if I can kind of figure something out from there. If you think of anything else, if you're off, and you can always text me and say, "Man, that's," I think I got an idea, but I got a couple ideas. That's always the hardest part for me. If I give you just the opportunity, a lot of times at the very end, I give you like a little final thoughts thing, something that you'd like people to know about wrestling and know about yourself. Give you like however long you need, but go ahead and give us your final thought for the night.
Um, Really throughout the years, I've really like loved wrestling and just knowing that it'll always be around now, and knowing that even more girls are going out, and that it's just gonna keep growing and growing, and even other girls besides me are gonna love it just as much.
I like that. I've gone through my whole list. I'm going to hit the stop button, but I do want you to stick around just for a second because I got a couple things to ask for you. I'm going to
Okay.
hit the stop button. So.